Hello and welcome to another episode of Fully Charged, this time coming from the centre of London, and this week I'm looking very specifically at the Kia Soul EV. This is a 100% electric car. It has a 27 kilowatt hour battery, which is slightly bigger than many of its cars in the same range, and it has about 109 horsepower electric motor, which is 1 horsepower less than a Nissan Leaf. Imagine how much difference that's going to make. Not much. But this is the really interesting thing, and I'm really interested to find out a bit more about this. It has the highest energy density batteries of any car, including the Tesla Model S, of any electric car that is currently on the road. This is really quite interesting next step technology that Kia have developed, and I'm going to take it for a little drive. Okay, so this is the Kia Soul EV. So this is real proper. I've never been in this car before. I don't know how to start it. I don't know. Oh, there's a start button. A suggested range of about 137 miles. Interesting to see if that's the case. And it's a version of the Kia Soul, which is a petrol car. So it is a kind of conversion, but from what I've seen of it so far, it's been done very, very well. And it's just being launched in the UK today. So I'm currently in the middle of London at the launch car park, and they've shown me the car, the sat nav's on, but I'm now pressing the power button. It's a nice bit of South Korean introduction there. So I can't tell if it's, well, it's telling me I've got 97 miles at the moment. So if I go into drive, I don't know if the parking brake's on, I don't think it is. Very simple dashboard there, and oh, we're off, there we go, it's that easy. Now I've got to work out how to get through the gap, which is narrowish, I think it's fair to say. It's that when you see gashes on a wall where cars have hit it in the past, you tend to be a little bit more careful. You've got to go straight on here. Oh, and there's a bike. See, that motorbike, he couldn't hear me because I'm in an electric car. Wow, it's got a really impressive 3D sat-nav. It's got buildings on it. I hope I'm going the right way. Yes, I am.
And then immediately right.
Oh, the lady's going to talk to me. Go right, then immediately right. But I'm currently stuck behind Cricklewood timber. Wipers. Oh, nice action. Well, it's a very nice car to drive, and I've now driven it 500 or 600 meters. That's my review. Oh, and that's the other thing I didn't do, is turn her off, because she drives me mad. But no, very smooth, very quiet, all the things you expect from an electric car. So that's my review. So I think I've now driven maybe 700 meters. It's very good in a traffic jam, this car. That's one thing I know. And clearly, yes, my average speed so far in central London, 1 mile an hour. So I could actually have walked from the hotel to here considerably faster than we've driven. But that's not what we're doing today. So after driving through some dense London traffic for quite some time, the range has actually increased. It's gone up to 98 miles, the range, and my average speed has increased fabulously. It's now up to 2 miles an hour. So it just shows you how sensible it is to drive in central London. And when you think of a lot of these cars that are driving past pay the congestion charge for where we are at the moment is in the congestion zone. We're just leaving it now. So that is a considerable cost on top of everything else. And the speed limit along here is 30. Of course, I knew that because I've driven in London before. But no, I mean, what I've felt so far, so this is, ridiculously short time I've been driving it, but, all the things that you want a car to do, it does in spades. So it's very smooth. The acceleration is very smooth. Not like breathtaking or staggering. It's perfectly, it's not a sports car. And the regen braking, I'm just going to try a bit of that, is nice. Yeah, so there's a little setting on the gear stick. If you just pull it back one, it gives you a bit of extra regen braking. So I mean, to stop there, I've only used to touch the brakes right at the end, like the last when you're doing like half a mile an hour, just to pull it to a complete halt. So all those things are really good. If the layout is really nice, I can see the speedos. Now my mileage has gone up to 4 miles an hour average, and I've got 99 miles range. So these are all the things you know when you first get in a car like this, you go, ooh, I wonder how far it'll go. You're not going to wonder that for much. I haven't got time to drive it anywhere near to empty. So that's quite impressive. So I'm nowhere near giving it the full throttle, and it is it's pulling away very, very well from traffic lights. It's very hard to do a sort of 0 to 60 test on the embankment in central London. So that is full throttle there, which is, you move away nice and fast. I mean, you leave all the other cars behind, you sort of keep up with the scooters and motorbikes, which is, obviously hugely important to my masculinity. It's a vital use, and the mileage just keeps going up. Ah, nice. No, it's nice. I like the Kia Soul. It's good so far. After 4.4 miles at an average speed of 5 miles an hour, it's all going very well. Oh, that's nice. So we've just gone into a tunnel, and I didn't do anything, and everything's changed. All the lighting inside has adapted to the fact that the light's lower in here, so that's quite nice. But I mean, that happens in all cars, that's not specifically an electric car. I'm going to argue that that's an electric car feature. Gone back out into the light, there it goes, and it's adjusted back. So that, that stuff is just modern car technology. Light sensors, it's got all those things like reversing sensors, and I don't know if it's got a reversing camera, I'm sure it has. So we're following another test driver at the moment in the Kia Soul. I can see his groovy tail lights, which are specific to this model, I believe. So it's the first time I've ever driven a Kia. I'd not been in any of the other makes they do. So it's a bit like when I first drove a Rolls Royce, it was an electric one. The first time I drove a Aston Martin, it was a hybrid one. The first time I drove a Kia, it was an electric one, which is a nice way of doing it. So I don't know what the petrol one's like. I've got no idea what its MPG is or how common they are or anything. I don't recognise the car very much. So this one has been restyled considerably. But it's certainly not offensive to the eye. It looks like a car. Looks quite a solid little car, So these cars are now on sale in the UK. They are comparatively priced with a lot of the other electric cars of a similar size that I've driven. So after the government grant, they're about £24,000 new, equivalent to an i3, BMW i3, or maybe an e-Golf. It's in the same ballpark, and they've been working on electric cars for 20 years, Kia. I mean, electric cars in South Korea are well ahead of anything here. There's things in Seoul in South Korea like induction charging in car parks, induction charging on road junctions, which is fascinating. So that as a car is slowing down and coming up to a junction, is actually charging as it moves along slowly. So that all those things are very intriguing, and they've introduced that in Korea. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago. It's not a new thing. But imagine you're in an electric car and you park your car in a car park. You don't do anything. You don't do anything. It's just charging. It's quite remarkable, really, isn't it? That is quite an extraordinary bit of technology that is, will become more common here as well. I mean, it's certainly the technology exists. It's just implementing it it hasn't happened here yet to any great extent. There's some test facilities, but there's not proper charging yet. That is now intriguing. Now, this is why you need to drive these cars a little bit further than you do on a day like this, where you're just testing it. So my average speed is now 7 miles an hour, which is very impressive, but the range has gone up to 100 miles. So the further I've driven, the range estimate is increasing all the time, and that's based on my driving style. So I think there's no way that anyone could hammer this car at the moment. There just isn't room. So we're currently going past the Tower of London, which features, as many of you will know, the huge display of poppies. I think possibly on their way out, but they're still millions of tourists here. And we're going over London's iconic Tower Bridge, which I used to live right near many years ago, but that's not really relevant to an electric car review. But I used to live in that building over there. And the skyline of London is looking particularly spectacular in today's rather dramatic weather.
Turn left at the second bridge onto Lee Street.
So I think, after a very short drive, I think the remarkable thing about the Kia Soul is how unremarkable it is. It just feels normal. It feels like this is normal. And this is what cars do. And, you know, you plug them in and then you drive them and then you plug them in and that's it. It's kind of unremarkable, which I think isn't a criticism. I think it's actually a good thing. If it was remarkable, it would be like a challenge and different and woo and weird and spooky. It's incredibly easy to drive. It's very easy to see all the things that you need to see, your, you know, remaining range, your speed, all those sort of things. Visibility is really good, the mirrors are really good, the reversing camera is fantastic. You know, it makes a little noise when you go along in a car park so people can hear you coming, so it's reassuring in that respect. It's got all those little sensors everywhere, so if you're driving in a very tight place, it's going beep, beep, beep at you to tell you that you're about to hit something. And now all that stuff has become quite normal. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm spoiled, but it doesn't strike me as a remarkable and, you know, amazing leap. It's just normal. This is how cars should be. These are the cars that everybody should be driving, because they're, you know, they make less of an impact on our world than all the other ones.
Now turn left and then left.
Okay. Up to 1 hour, £3.50 it's going to cost us just to charge, but we won't talk about that. So what I'm going to do now, give me a card, thank you, is we're going to find the charger. Ah, down there I can see it. Yoo-hoo! Down.
The reason I wanted to try out charging the Kia Soul EV was to find out how easy it is to charge the car. The sat-nav map has symbols that show you where chargers are situated. There are now about 20,000 chargers like these around the country. Like the Nissan Leaf and the Renault Zoe, the charge ports for these Soul EV are at the front of the car, rather than at the rear on the side like a traditional fuel filler cap. I have to say from experience that I really like that. It makes it very easy to point the car at the charger ready to plug in. The little blue lights give you reassurance that the car is actually charging, and using this charger, if the batteries were very low, it would take about 4 hours to reach 100%. The Soul EV can take a charge from a 13 amp standard UK wall socket, the slowest method, or a 16 amp charge socket that you can have fitted at your house, or a 32 amp socket like the one I'm using here, or a rapid charge socket, that's the big one, which will recharge the battery to 80% in 25 to 30 minutes. There are now rapid chargers at every motorway services in the UK, and hundreds more being installed all the time. Presently, all these chargers are free to use, but you will have to pay to use them sometime next year.
So what I've learnt today is it's really good in dense urban traffic. I know that. It's entirely unremarkable. I mean, it's very easy to drive. So if I was driving a diesel now with gears and a clutch, you know, it would have been really tiresome to have done 6.6 miles at 7 miles an hour in central London. It would have been, and this is so easy to drive. It is truly unremarkable. And I feel sorry for anyone who has to drive a diesel. I mean, what a pain. And all the time I'm sitting still in traffic, this car isn't using any energy at all. I mean, a tiny smidgen to run the dash, and that's it. There's no energy being wasted, you know, to run the engine. The engine isn't running. It just feels like it's been around for years. To me, it feels like this is the most normal car I've ever driven. I quite like some of the styling is quite weird, like the speakers. It looks a bit like sort of a bit of architecture from the mid-80s. It looks like an office building in Seoul, which is where it's from, so it's not surprising. The designer who now works for Kia used to work for Audi, apparently. Mr. Designer, I'll find out more about him. We're causing major traffic problems here, but there's not really anything I can do. Very good. Well, I've now driven the Kia Soul for about 9 miles in central London, so I can say without any hesitation that it's an excellent car for driving in very dense urban areas. It's really easy, it's incredibly quiet. I'd say if anything, it's quieter than any other electric car I've driven. You can't really hear the motor at all, you can't hear it. It's very easy to drive, it's got regen braking, it's all that stuff, it's fantastic, and it's a wonderful car for driving around in cities that are already completely choking with cars. I would love to be able to drive it a bit further to find out more about it. I didn't use any battery, you know, it's got little bars that measure how much battery you used. Didn't use one in that time. Could have driven another 100 miles in it without any trouble. Would have gone insane driving around central London if I had managed to run the batteries down. But I mean, everything that I've understood about the car is very impressive. It's on sale now in this country. It's about £25,000 after the government grant to get it on the road. No road tax, no congestion charge. You know, will be the same insurance category as a similar sized petrol car. It sounds like a no-brainer to me. I think it's a really nice car. Lots of room inside, really lovely to drive. So I've done a much longer test drive now in the Kia Soul EV, and I've just done my last rapid charge of this trip. I've driven about 300 miles in the car. You should be able to see, oh, there's someone coming around the corner rather fast. All right, he's letting me go. You should be able to see the, with a bit of luck, the rapid charger in the background as I pull away. Thank you, sir. Very kind driver. So I've got a much better idea, because my first test drive, as I moaned on and on about it, was in the centre of London, where my average speed was very low. My average speed on this trip is 42 miles an hour, which, when you know what average speeds mean, then you know that that's been because I've been using it a lot on motorways and dual carriageways and stuff, and travelling at higher speeds. So yeah, 463. So when I got it, it had 182. So just under 300 miles. I'll do a lot more than 300 miles because I've got to drive into London now. And I mean, all the things I stated in the first place when I first drove it have held true. I mean, it's a really comfortable and easy car to drive. There is something about visibility when you're not conscious of whether it's got good or bad visibility. I think it's a very good sign that you've got very good visibility, because I just don't even think about it. I know exactly where I am on the road and where the car is and who's around me. So all that works very well. I think I can now say that this car has a realistic winter, because it's only, what's it today? It's 8 degrees today. It's been colder than that. It's a bit warmer today. Pretty cold, 8 degrees centigrade. A realistic winter range of about 90 miles. And I would say, obviously, in the summer, then it would have and I'm talking realistic range on major roads and motorways at major road and motorway speeds. So at constant sort of, I actually hover at about 68 miles an hour, 68 to 70, somewhere in between that on the motorway. And at that speed, it's got a realistic range of about 90 miles, which I think is very good in the winter, because that tells you that in the summer you're going to be able to go a lot further than that. So I'd say it is true that it would be over 100 miles. As always with these things, when they say 136 miles, you could do 136 miles or whatever they claim the range is on this car, but you'd have to be doing under 50 on fairly flat roads with no hills. And then you could get that. And we live in the real world. There are things called hills. I've got to go up quite a big one at the moment. I'm driving into London from Oxford now. I've just stopped for a recharge there, and that recharge was under 20 minutes to get the battery up to 88%. So you know, it works. It does all the things you want it to do. I will set the cruise control, which is very good and very easy to use, to 70 miles an hour. There it is. Oh no, hang on. It's very easy to use, and I just did it wrong. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I do really like this car. It is a very nice car to drive. When you put the heater on, the range drops by 1 mile, and that's a very good sign. The heater is very good. It makes you very warm very quickly. So, and it has very little. Do you know what I was doing? I was breaking the speed limit, ladies and gentlemen. I admit it. I was doing 71 admitting that in public. I was doing 71 miles an hour according to the speedometer. So the Kia Soul EV, brilliant new car, on the market now. As you can see, I'm doing the speed limit and constantly being overtaken by people, but that's normal for me. Very kind of solid feeling, reliable motor. I really like it. It's a really nice car. A lot of people have commented on the shape, and when they stop making electric cars pig ugly, I might buy one, which is intriguing in this car because this car started out life as a petrol car. So I think that says more about the person who commented on that than it does about the car. I don't particularly love the design and shape of it, but then I don't hate it either because I can't really. I don't have the aesthetic sense to do it. I actually think that its fairly boxy design isn't terribly aerodynamic because I can sense that it is having to push. So it's doing the average energy consumption is 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, which I don't know how good that is. It's a really hard one. It does tell you these things. So 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, and this has a 27 kilowatt hour battery. Now, I wish I could do maths off the top of my head, but 3.4 miles times 27. 2 3s are 60. I can't do it. There's no point. I might try and put it in underneath how many miles that suggests you can do on a charge. I've got 36 miles to go. 36 miles left in my on this trip. I've got 68 miles of range. And when you see that two bits of information, that's when you don't get range anxiety. And that 68 miles range is really accurate. That is how far it will go. It doesn't speculate. It doesn't go up and down. So if I go down a hill now, it will stay at 68 miles an hour for another few miles until you start going up a hill and it drops to 67. And that is giving you a very accurate picture of how far you can go on it, which is very, very useful. If you're driving cars like these, you want reliable and accurate information in those categories. Here we go. That's it. That's all. Thanks very much for watching. Join me again on Fully Charged soon.